This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast. I'm Shane.
And I'm JP.
What up, chicken butt? I just really wanted to say it.
Okay.
All right. I don't know why that came to my head. It was very strange. So, here we go. What I want to do, and what JP actually wants to do, this is going to be a shorter episode-ish, hopefully, maybe. But who knows?
We could really get into this, though.
We could.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is go over Player of the Year rankings. They were just dropped on the PDGA.
An hour ago.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is go over, have a discussion, and give our thoughts.
Yeah.
And this is post Green Mountain.
Yeah. So, this is post Green Mountain Championships.
Yeah, so there's a lot of them, like U.S. Tour ranking. I mean,
that one's interesting to me because it looks like, I don't know what that means. It looks like it would be like average finish almost, which I don't understand because I don't think that's what it is. But
no, because Paige Pierce's average finish is not second place.
No. Definitely. I wouldn't think so.
No.
I'm not sure how that's calculated for sure. I mean, it says player like criteria and full standings. Mm-hmm. But I have not. Yeah,
so we'll start. Let's start with amateur.
Yep.
Or rookie of the year. Excuse me. Some of the runs for rookie of the year are. We'll do tied for fourth right now in rookie of the year is Matt Haney, who is a local to us.
Yep.
I have played many rounds with Matt. Mm-hmm. You may have recognized him from last year, the amateur disc golf
NAGT.
NADGT.
He was on the final round feature round
coverage. Yeah. He's up there. So he's super happy for him.
Yeah, Discraft Underground.
Discraft Underground. Yep. And then I don't know any of the ladies.
Yeah, some of the women popping up, I was like, I don't recognize. The one I do know is Chantel Budinsky. I follow her on Instagram. She's Miss Frisbees.
Oh, yeah, I do too. Okay.
Yeah, and she's from Canada, and she's a Prodigy player. That's really all I know. That's the extent of what I know about her.
Okay, yeah. She's been popping up a lot on the feed for Door Disc.
Okay.
Quite a bit, so. All right, so U.S. rankings. Let's go over right now, men and women, as far as Player of the Year race goes. So we'll start from the bottom. Let's start from the bottom. So it's the top 10 for this race. We'll start with FPO. So Kat Merch in 10th, Ella Hansen in 9th, Henna Blumroos in 8th, Evelina Salonen in 7th, Valerie Mandahano in 6th, Missy Gannon in 5th, Owen Scoggins in 4th, Katrina Allen in 3rd. So, I think right there is where a lot of my confusion comes in with these top 3 players. You have Katrina Allen, Kristen Tatar at 2nd, and Paige Pierce sitting on the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. So I did a little bit of digging.
Sure.
So basically what it comes down to, I think, is the amount of time Kristen took off.
Sure.
She missed, I think it's 3. Kristen's played a total of 19 tournaments.
Uh-huh.
Paige has played, let me bring it up for a second because I was on her before. Paige has played, I'm going to say 21 because it includes the C tier that she played down in, like it was that like supporting women's tournament or whatever. So she's played 20.
That was one in the beginning of the year, right?
Yes,
okay.
So Paige has played 21 tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
She also has 2 majors.
Mm-hmm.
Kristen has 1, but Kristen has 10 victories. Paige has, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, 4 Elite Series, not including the majors.
Okay.
So, and then as of this weekend, I believe they were tied in top 10 victories, which Paige definitely fell out of.
What is top 10 victory?
Or top 10.
Finish in the top 10?
Top 10 finishes. Sorry, not victories, top 10 finishes.
And I think a lot of the stats are vague that they're basing it off of, because if you look at finishes, Kristen Tatar it's like 1.3 is the average finish.
Yeah.
She's basically winning everything. She hasn't finished off the podium this year in any tournament she's played in.
Right.
She's missed 3 tournaments, so she missed Throw Pink Women. No, that's coming up.
still coming up.
The U.S. Women's, right? What was it? What was the one at? Why can't I think of what it's called?
I don't think she went to. Did she go to Texas States?
I think Texas States is where she took off.
And she came back for the Preserve.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So she also missed. Well, anyway, she missed 2 or 3 in there, and then she didn't do European championships either.
She missed. She was at Champions Cup because that was the big controversy with her and her daughter.
Well, and that was the one where she kind of flubbed that last shot, and Paige ended up winning.
Yes.
So head to head, Kristen still has Paige, but they haven't seen each other quite often this year. They haven't seen each other that much this year.
Right. I mean, we've seen them on a few feature cards here and there.
Yeah.
Let's see, Texas States. Yep, and then she came back. So Texas States, was the 25th through the 27th of March, and then she came back for maybe she's still here. April, June. Yeah. So I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah. I can't quite figure out what is going on with that and why Kristen Tatar is.
The only thing I can think is that the majors are just weighted that much more in points.
Yeah, maybe. But,
I don't know.
I mean, look at Paul Macbeth and Ricky Wysocki.
Yeah.
I mean, like, why? And we'll get to that, but that's the same story. And obviously there are bigger differences there.
Right.
But
but in terms of looking at the eye test, and like average finish, Kristen is way above Paige.
I mean, this is just like Kristen Tatar is putting on a MPO 2015 season of Paul Macbeth.
Yeah.
I mean, utter dominance. If she shows up, she wins.
Yes.
Paige Pierce has been nowhere to be seen in some of these tournaments.
Right.
She hasn't missed the cut yet, but she's basically nowhere to be seen in some of these tournaments. So why? I can't quite understand the how it's weighted, because I don't think that anyone is close to Kristen Tatar right now. I truly don't.
No, I don't either.
But somehow she's only 10 points ahead of Katrina Allen, who didn't even make the cut.
Right.
I mean, like dropped out of cash, like ended her cash streak.
Yeah, ended her cash streak, yep.
So, it's baffling to me where this is coming from. But, hey, Player of the Year rankings, Kristen Tatar will probably win out and probably be well over Paige Pierce, I would assume. But who knows? Who knows?
Sorry about that.
So, anything else to say about the ladies? It's just baffling to me. I don't understand how those 3 are at top. Well, I don't understand how Katrina Allen's at top and Owen Scoggin and Missy Gannon aren't.
I don't either.
Maybe putting Katrina Allen ahead of Missy Gannon, but Owen Scoggins,
Owen's been great.
She's been phenomenal this year. So
she has.
I don't get it. I mean,
there's been, like Paige. There's been tournaments. Katrina's, who knows where she is? I mean, she has bad rounds, but then you see her kind of climb back into it. But
have you seen her on a lead card this year? Other than featured?
Vegas.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Yeah.
That's all I can really think of.
Yeah, so it's strange to me. It's the grind. That's how it was last year too. It's the grind. It's putting in the tournaments. And I just don't understand how that is still a thing. But that's why Player of the Year rankings are kind of becoming a joke.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because, like I said, I and you can argue with us, send it to us. You can do it on our Instagram. You can email us, however you want to. But tell me how Paige Pierce is favored for Player of the Year over Kristen Tatar.
Right. This is almost as bad. I put this on the PDGA's Instagram page. I said, this is almost as bad as when Paige and Katrina tied. Yeah. And Katrina was obviously player, and they came back and they gave Paige part of it. Right. And you're like, why?
Exactly. Yeah. Ugh. And it is. And it's, for some reason, it's I don't want to hurt your feelings. No, just figure it out. Or you need to weight a bigger portion of these choices to, like Baseball Hall of Fame or something like that, where they give a certain percentage of TDs, like major or elite series TDs. What are the choice? Who's the choice?
Right. Or is it a player vote?
Or a player vote, yeah.
You leave it? I don't know, because I feel like some people could be biased
There's
towards
some
people.
popularity issues there.
Exactly.
And if people find out who you were voting for or who you weren't, like, I like the idea of the TDs or something like that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, leave it up that way.
It's too bad there isn't a bigger, media where, like, you'd pull in, like, it's always Baseball Writers Association or, something like that.
Right.
We just don't have enough media members to be able to vote on something like that.
No, not for anything substantial or meaningful.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's probably...
We'd vote.
Yeah, we would vote. I mean,
Yeah.
our matter is going to be more of, like, what putter they throw. But in the main episode, I got something to say.
Okay. Cool.
I would say there's maybe 4 or 5 media outlets at most that would actually have a good, educated opinion. Did you think like Upshot, PDGA Radio, Ultiworld, Foundation guys, they get down on the statistics
like
a little
definitely
bit.
Terry.
Yeah, Terry Miller, maybe Statmando, and they do help with the Pro Tour, things like that. So, I think there's some people that could definitely have, but who knows? Who knows? So
who knows?
All right, let's get into the men. Isaac Robinson, Aaron Gossett. You know what? Let's let's just do the top 5.
Okay, sounds good. Wait.
So tied for 5th is Dickerson and Oram, and then Burr at 4th, Calvin Heimberg in 3rd, Wysocki at 2nd, and Paul at 1st. I don't have a lot to say about that. I think it seems about in order. I would, Chris Dickerson being so far down kind of surprises me.
But he took a good chunk of time off during the season, so it's not really surprising. He does have the Champions Cup.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think he has a couple of Silver Series wins. He doesn't have any other Elite Series wins.
But man, he is Mr. Lead Card. Like he is always there. I mean, Heimberg's the same way too.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. Calvin's there all the time too.
Yeah.
And Ricky is currently ranked number 1 in the tour rankings.
Yeah.
But I think even... go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and even Burr, I'm putting Burr so far up. Like, behind him, you have Lizotte, who has 2 majors, but he had a lot of time off.
Oh, no, he's got, Elite Series wins.
Yeah, 2 Elite Series, sorry.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of time off.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, he missed up until March of the, beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Aaron Gossage, like, where else have we seen Aaron Gossage?
But he's been around. Like, kind of,
Has he been like top 10 or top 15 that I just haven't realized it? Or
Yeah. Okay. He's been sneaky in some tournaments. Obviously,
just kind of quiet.
Obviously, Worlds, we've seen him. I don't have his stats up in front of me, but he's been up there.
Yeah.
Same thing with Isaac Robinson.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't have any issues with Macbeth and Wysocki being in the positions that they're in right now. Wysocki just won the Green Mountain.
That's
so
his
that
4th tour series.
Yeah, 4th tour win.
Right. Paul's got the major on him.
Yeah, Paul's got the major, higher average finish.
Right. I was going to say, even though Paul's not having a Paul year, like the average finish. And then Paul's also played a couple more tournaments than Ricky. So that factors in as well. Just having those extra tournaments in. Yeah,
so, it really favors the grind, because I think Paul and Ricky are pretty darn close to one another as far as the points, because the points are showing that they're 60 points apart from one another, which is a much smaller gap than what, it's 70 points between Pierce and Tatar, but I think it shows a closer story than that. Like the actual what's going on is a closer story, because I think it's still a toss-up between the two of them. I think either one of them can get it, but what the power rankings are, what the player of the year rankings are showing, it doesn't look to be the case.
I'm surprised. Paul's actually played a surprising amount of Silver Series events this year. I haven't really seen him play that many, and this year he decided to.
I think it's a player of the year thing.
Yeah.
Because I think last year he got screwed out of it because of not playing a bunch? Because it was him and Pierce, right, that got kind of screwed out of it because of the amount of...
Yeah.
And that's... Yeah. So, but he's playing the game, you know,
Right.
and I'm sure he gets bonuses and things like that for pulling it in. So, but yeah, so those are your U.S. rankings. So just so we don't blank on anybody, we'll give the top 10. So Isaac Robinson is 10, Aaron Gossage 9, Joel Freeman 8, Simon Lizotte 7, Chris Dickerson and Matt Oram are tied for 5th. Burr is 4th, Heimberg 3rd, Wysocki in 2nd, and leading the rankings right now is Paul. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it shakes out. They have 2 more tournaments of note, and Paul only has 3 more tournaments registered at all this year. So we'll see, you know, because maybe Wysocki has 5 more,
Yeah.
and I can put him over.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if, because there is a silver series after US.
2.
Is there 2?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because they're starting to go like do those tournaments into going into the off season for
Right.
next year. It counts
'Cause I
towards
think
next year.
The
I thought.
Halloween Classic is 1,
Okay.
and then there's 1 more after that, I think.
It's New World Championship, I believe. I looked it up like a while ago because I was looking up the World Championships. I was like, oh, this is interesting, and
Yeah.
it's sponsored by DD, I think, is what I had saw.
Okay.
Yeah, but like the U.S. So that's just like the player rankings, and then there's like the U.S. Tour rankings, and then it has Paul and Ricky flip flopped,
Right.
and then Heimberg right behind them. So like the top 3 are still the same, and then you have
What is
Kristen.
the tour ranking?
I mean,
Confused on the
I'm-
U.S. tour.
okay, U.S. Tour.
Because I don't even know what the U.S. tour is. The best disc golfers on the United States tour are represented here. Explanation of the United States tour ranking.
Players must have at least 2 Elite Series finishes and at least 1 major finish within the last 18 months.
Okay. MPO have a rating value of greater than
1,000.
1,000. Okay. So it's basically just any majors or elites is what it shows out. So the U.S. tour is any major or elite.
Elite is the average finishing position in Elite Series events from the last year. If the player has 12 or more eligible events.
There are, yeah. So there you go. So that's basically the difference. So there's the player of the year, and then the tour ranking is, the U.S. tour ranking is all the elite and majors combined
Yeah. Okay.
in the United States.
Right. Yeah.
So there you go. So that's
Interesting.
what it is. Yeah, and they do have Macbeth and Wysocki flip flopped.
Yeah, because even like the U.S. Tour rankings, you see a player like Kyle Klein jumps up into 8th,
Right.
you know, and he wasn't on the Player of the Year.
And Gannonburr drops back. Heimberg and Dickerson
Yeah.
jump over Burr and Oram.
Yeah.
So
Haley King jumps into the top 10 for the women, along with Sarah Holcomb.
Yep.
Like that's
that's more representative of the elite and major wins.
Yep.
Which Wysocki has more than Paul.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
that makes sense.
So yeah, I understand it now that I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think this is interchangeable in my humble opinion. Like I said, for the Player of the Year rankings, they're kind of interchangeable. Wysocki and Macbeth. I think it's going to have to do with USDGC finish and the next tournament or that's it after and this weekend
Yeah.
MVP.
MVP. Yeah.
And so that's it. So we'll see. Oh, good
Sorry.
job. That's
yeah,
right.
That's awesome.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's all. That seems
All
good.
right. So we'll give his official unfiltered opinion on OnlyFans. But until then, keep us up par. Peace.